Well, a very good morning to all our viewers. Welcome to this Wednesday's edition of Newspresso with me, Stacy Pereira. And as the drill goes, we're going to be getting you all the top stories from across the globe, whether Dalal Street is going to be reacting to the CPI numbers, Infosys' big deal win that has come over the weekend. We're going to be getting you all those stories, all the latest tech and trends that you need to be following, all of that. But first, let's get you straight to what we're getting from our Global Dispatch. Now, concerns over the state of global economy are keeping investors on the edge. Indices on Wall Street fell on Tuesday, with the Dow Jones shedding close to 300-odd points. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq Composite both pulled back by about 0.9 and 0.8% respectively. Now, it was the banking and financial stocks which were the biggest drag after Fitch has gone ahead and warned that it may downgrade credit ratings for dozens of banks, including JP Morgan Chase. Now, banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all of them traded lower by about 2% yesterday. Shares of regional banks too also dropped now. And on the data front, we did see July's US retail sales data, which came in higher than expected, indicating a stronger than expected consumer. Retail sales has increased by about 0.7% on a month-on-month basis. Well, investor sentiment also weakened globally, though, after China reported disappointing economic data and its central bank made a surprise rate cut. And it was no different on the European market side, where those also closed lower yesterday as investors weighed in on the wage growth figures from UK as well as that disappointing data from China. Now, the Pan-European Stock 600 index, that one closed about 0.9% lower, with most of the sectors ending in the negative territory. Retail stocks, though, got a boost from department store chain Marks and Spencer's, which raised its profit outlook. The stock, in fact, gained as much as 7.5% in trade yesterday. It also saw the UK's FTSE 100 drop by about 1.57% after data came in on their wage growth, which showed a wage growth at a record level, though not really translating to the indices. The median monthly salary is now growing at about 7.8% for the month of July. Whereas in other news, we also saw Russia's central bank hike its interest rates by about 300 basis points to 12%. This in an emergency meeting that it held. The move comes at a time when Moscow looks to steady that rapidly plummeting country's currency, that is the ruble, against the dollar. And mirroring moves from Wall Street, indices in the Asia-Pacific region are trading lower this morning. Retreating bank stocks in the US has dampened sentiment across the globe. And you can see that Japan's Nikkei 225 has slid by about 0.82% on opening, whereas South Korea's Kospi, that one which came back from a public holiday, just like India, is also down and about by 1.03%. Australia's S&P ASX 200 has slipped by about 1.20% and is on track for its third day of losses out of 4 days. Well, investors will also be looking out for China's house prices for the month of July. It will be important given the country's recent real estate troubles. Even the Gift Nifty at this point is indicating a negative start for Indian equities. On to the commodities front, where China's industrial output and retail sales data has shown that the economy has slowed further, sending oil prices in a downward spiral as the world's biggest oil importer has shown this kind of data. Now, oil prices fell on Tuesday, with Brent crude futures falling close to 1.5% or nearing the $84.90 per barrel mark. Now, investors are awaiting data on US crude inventories, which will be released later today by the government. Also adding to that risk-off sentiment was the downgrade warning for banks, which is quite vulnerable for the banking sector, which would also make crude prices vulnerable as more sensitive owing to the interest rate as well as loans and the overall health of the economy. And bringing you the latest from Trump's indictment, well, Donald Trump has been asked to surrender at the Fulton County jail. His deadline to surrender is been given, but Trump hasn't publicly mentioned if he plans to surrender or not. His deadline to surrender is declared as the 25th of August. Now, 4 criminal indictments have been filed against the former U.S. President Donald Trump. 2 indictments on the state charges in New York and Georgia, and the other 2 for federal charges. It is unclear how far off are the trials as of now, as the former president is well known for using courts to draw out cases. However, According to Reuters, the reports there have said that he will have his mugshot taken upon being taken into custody. And a quick recap of all the trading action that we saw on the Lal Street on Monday. Well, the markets were closed yesterday owing on account of Independence Day here. But, well, if you go back to Monday, we did see the Nifty stage that impressive recovery in the last hours of trade to recoup the day's losses and finally close in the green in what could be well described as a volatile day of trade. Now, Sensex also managed to hold on to that 65,400 levels, while it was the Bank Nifty which also cut back some of those losses and got back above that 44,000 level mark. But if you look at the Nifty mid-cap 100 as well as the small-cap 100 indices, those ones were the underperformers. Now, among stocks that you need to be keeping out on your radar, ITC, Vodafone, those two have posted their earnings, so we're going to see earnings reactions there. Infosys after that deal win, and we're going to tell you more on that, as well as Indigo, which is likely to see a huge mega block deal where the Gangawal family is likely to stake sale of about 4%. Now, we were talking about Infosys, and Infosys has gone ahead and bagged a £1.5 billion or $1.6 billion deal from Liberty Global. This is to build and scale their entertainment and connectivity platforms for the digital communication firm. Excuse me. This is the third mega agreement for the IT major this year, and the agreement has an initial tenure of just about 5 years that can be extended to 8 years, which could then take the deal value to about £2.3 billion or $2.5 billion. Now, Liberty Global has been Infosys' client since February of 2020. And the deal could also come at a time where the company has slashed its revenue guidance for the current financial year. Now, let's get you other news that is making rounds. Well, we did see Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, who went ahead and announced new plans to expand the Supreme Court with the construction of a new building this time around. And this was at the Independence Day speech. The CJI said that he plans on construction of a new building which will accommodate 27 additional courts, about 51 judges' chambers, 4 registrar courtrooms, as well as 16 registrar chambers, as well as other requisite facilities for lawyers and litigants. Now, the construction will take place in 2 phases, in which the first phase excuse me, I beg your pardon. In the first phase, we're going to see the museum as well as the annex building both be demolished to make way for 15 new courtrooms, while in the second phase, the portion of the existing courtroom complex will be demolished and will be replaced by 12 new courtrooms. Now, let's also get you up to speed with all the rain fury that we're seeing across the country. Well, rains in Himachal Pradesh have taken a toll for the worst, we could say. 2 people have died now after at least 8 houses, including 6 makeshift ones, were razed down to the ground, and a slaughterhouse as well was buried under the debris in the landslide. Now, according to authorities in Shimla, a tree uprooting has caused the landslip, leading to the collapse of cluster of houses. It isn't confirmed, though, how many people are trapped under the rubble. Heavy rains have resulted in landslide, cloudburst, as well as collapse of houses across Himachal Pradesh. The total death toll due to rains has crossed 50 right now. NDRF as well as SDRF teams are conducting rescue operations that are underway as we speak. And well, let's get you up to speed with all the latest tech and trends that are doing the round. Guess what? Now you can actually carry a TV as part of your luggage. No, I'm not talking about a tablet that can act as a portable TV, but an actual TV which fits in a suitcase and can simply be popped open to view. That's right, LG is now taking pre-orders in the US for a TV called the Stand By Me Go. It costs about $1,000 odd and will be available from August 28th. Now, it has a 27-inch 1080 pixel screen and comes with a built-in battery that lasts about 3 hours. So how can one simply carry it wherever you go? or move it from one room to the other, or even carry it outdoors. This will now be possible, and it also comes with apps such as YouTube TV, Apple, Paramount, Disney, Hulu, Netflix, all of those which will be preloaded into this TV. It also has a touch screen, so you can tap and open apps, as well as 4 inbuilt speakers. But would you really go ahead and pay $1,000 for a 27-inch TV at a time when we are getting 4K and what not when you see a TV? Will paying for that portability really worth that $1,000? Let us know whether it's worth it in our comment section, because we'd want to know whether you'd pay $1,000 for $1,000 really for a portable TV. But also, from the latest tech to what we're seeing from the auto sector, we did have Mahindra Auto unveil the concept Thar.e, which is described as its first off-road friendly e-SUV. Now, the unveiling happened at the company's Futurescape event, which was held in South Africa's Cape Town, and according to the automaker, they've described the Thar.e as a sustainability in action. That's what they're calling it, as it uses just 50% recycled PET as well as recycled uncoated plastic in its construction. The e-SUV will also feature ingenious engineering, is what the company says. Interestingly, music maestro A.R. Rahman has been tied up with Mahindra to design and build 75 meticulously crafted sounds that will go up on all the upcoming all-electronic models from the car maker. And now Akshay Kumar has finally become an Indian citizen. Yes, the Bollywood star who has faced much backlash because of his Canadian passport shared proof of his Indian citizenship on social media, which coincided with India's 77th Independence Day. The Bollywood actor took to X, which is formerly Twitter, to share proof of his Indian citizenship. Kumar wrote, and I quote, "Dil aur citizenship dono Hindustani," while sharing a picture of a certificate from the citizenship from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, Akshay Kumar's citizenship has become a topic of debate when the actor became a naturalized Canadian citizen when he applied for citizenship during a low point of his career. Although in Feb this year, Kumar had vowed to renounce his Canadian citizenship and has now finally got that Indian passport. Well, it seems like that's all we have for you in this edition of Newspresso. But before we let you go, well, we told you on Monday about that iconic instrumental rendition of the Indian National Anthem by Ricky Kedge. Well, after its release, everyone literally stands amused. Now, Prime Minister Modi went ahead and shared Kedge's tribute and said that the wonderful rendition will make every Indian proud. Even Congress MP Shashi Tharoor was tweeted this and said, what a wonderfully post-colonial way to be celebrating India's independence. Even the Indian High Commission in UK thanked Kedge for the speaks. In fact, Ricky Kedge, as you know, the 3-time Grammy Award winner, conducted a 100-piece British orchestra, and this is the largest orchestra to ever have recorded an Indian national anthem till date. We are going to leave you with that piece, that iconic rendition of the national anthem.